Feeling nervous is such a strong emotion. So I wouldn't say I felt like that ahead of the game against Everton on Wednesday. But I did have a little bit of worry and a little bit of concern. What if we struggle and we play poorly? What if we lose? What if the same problems that we've seen in pre-season continue in that match? So there was a little bit of something there. However, that wasn't the case. I was happy with what I seen. I enjoyed what I seen. It made me a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more confident heading into the game against Sunderland. But I think the best thing about it for me was waking up on Thursday through to Friday. As soon as that full-time whistle went against Everton on Wednesday night, I was looking forward to tonight's game against Bournemouth. I was ready for some more. The whistle went. I thought, I enjoyed that. Can I have some more, please, against Bournemouth? Can we see this player? Can we see that player? It was a nice feeling. I felt a little bit more positive at the end of the week compared to the start of the week. And we didn't sign anyone. So it wasn't because we signed Hermansen, we signed Jacob Ramsey, and that's why I got my uplift. And if we do sign players like that, I will get another uplift. But that match against Wednesday was nice. It was enjoyable. So anyway, for that game, I did a little mini match preview in the morning. I enjoyed doing it. Some of you guys enjoyed watching it. And it did 10,000 views. So if we could have a repeat on all three fronts today with this video, then that's good. I'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. And it'll be good for work from a business aspect. So this is my little match preview for the game against Bournemouth, because tonight's going to be different. Everton suited us. Everton suited Graham Potter. They sat back. They let us have the ball. They let us dictate the tempo. And as a result, we looked good. Tonight, we've got a completely different kettle of a fish when it comes to what type of opponent we've got. We've got a high press inside, usually very energetic. Now, whether they will play like that or not tonight, I'm not too sure. I don't know what the weather's like. Is it going to be 30 degrees or something? I don't know. But that would have an impact. Now, I watched them against Everton, and they were good. Everton were poor, but Bournemouth were good. Bournemouth were high energy, lots of subs, which Everton didn't have. I didn't see the game against Man U. Now, I know they got beat 4-1, but I didn't watch it. The kickoff was 2 a.m. UK time. I didn't stay up. I went to bed. So tonight will be a different test for us. And I think that's important. There's no use for us playing a team similar to Everton again. We know when we play teams that sit back, we will have the lion's share of possession. So what we're going to do against a team that's going to be a little bit snappy, because we've looked dodgy in possession at times, right? That's fair, isn't it? We've been making sloppy individual mistakes, which is going to happen if you have more of the ball. Chances of making big mistakes increases. So we're now coming up against a team who are going to try and force you to make those mistakes. Everton were okay at pressing, and they forced us into mistakes. So now we've got a side whose identity is around pressing high up the pitch. So it's going to be an interesting test for us tonight. Anyway, let me move to my tactics board again. This is the team I would like to see. If I was in charge tonight, this is the team I would play. Two things I'm bearing in mind here. One, what Graham Potter's likely to do next season, okay? So that's formation. If it was up to me, we'd be playing a back four. He's not going to do that. So I feel like I'm going to base my team off what Graham Potter is going to do. And some of the player availabilities also dependent on what I think, or players who I think's got a chance. So, for example, there's no Andy Irving, because I think we're going to sell him. So I've got to the point where perhaps it's best just not to play him tonight. Focus on giving minutes to players who are likely to be here, okay? Anyway, before I get into it, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, and also drop a like on the video as well by clicking the thumbs up button. 7 o'clock kickoff tonight. We are live at, we'll say 6:15. 6:15 p.m. We are live tonight with our build-up show, our watch along. So if you can come, keep myself and Frankie company, I would appreciate it a lot. Right then, this is what I would do. Areola in goal. I know, right? I get it. Now, if the team came out and Finlay Herrick was in goal, I'd be okay. I wouldn't moan. But Wes wasn't very good on Wednesday, but he's had his run out now. Potter must prepare certain players with the assumption we won't have a new signing. He cannot think, oh, I'll just put Herrick in goal because when we play Lille next week, I'll have Suzuki, John, Hermansen, whoever it might be. He has to bear in mind, we've been trying to get a new goalkeeper for 2 weeks now. We've got a week till the Lille game. he's got to assume Areola will be in goal against Sunderland. So for me, Areola has to go in goal tonight, and I think he will. Now, like I said, I'm going to stick with the back three. So I'd like to see more of a Gerd. He's intriguing me. I'm still not convinced because, and this is where it's only pre-season, because I won't say that to everything, but I will say it to some things. And a Gerd is one of those things where I will say it's only pre-season because he's not been tested. He's not been getting crosses launched at his head or high balls launched over the top of him, where I think historically at West Ham he's struggled. I don't feel like these fixtures, although we're playing Premier League opposition, it's not reflecting, it's not representing a real Premier League match. So Gerd's looking good in pre-season at times. I enjoyed his distribution from the back, especially that long diagonal out to the right wing back. And that could be something that's very, very beneficial to West Ham. However, he's not left yet. Let's get him some game time and put him back in that left centre-back role. But if I could change one thing about a Gerd, apart from him not being so great in the air, he's got to start playing it down this left channel. He's not been doing it enough. I think him and Guilherme were arguing because I think Gerd was wanting to go long to Guilherme, whereas Guilherme was wanting. Well, I've got him here actually. I think Guilherme was wanting the ball short so he could run at his players, whereas I think Gerd was wanting Guilherme to get down the pitch so he could try and put a long ball down. Gerd's got to get better at just playing out, whether it is Guilherme, whether it's Doof, whether it's Scars, it doesn't really matter. Walker Peters, Wan-Bissaka, he's got to use the left channel more because the left wing back, whilst playing with a Gerd behind him, I feel has been a little bit eliminated from the game. That needs to change. I think when Scarles has been here, the left wing back is much more involved and has someone supporting him as well. So Gerd needs to add that to his game starting tonight. Let's get Guilherme off the pitch. And Mavropanos, I think, has been our best centre-back under Graham Potter. I'd like to see more now. I think Todibo needs the minutes, but I'd go for Mavropanos. Kilman, he started the last two, doesn't need to start this one. Looked good in the last game. Apart from the goal. After the goal, I thought Kilman played well. So, but I'd give Mavropanos a run. Now, this is where I'd pull Wan-Bissaka into right centre-back. I'm intrigued. I appreciate most people want to see him wing back. However, I'm adamant that when we play, if we have Todibo here, for example, I think it's just too static. It's not necessarily the distribution. It's not necessarily, oh, I'll just dribble up the pitch with it a little bit. That's not always what I'm referring to. We see it with Scarles and only Scarles so far. So Wan-Bissaka might just add that little bit more of an athletic side. The runs, he will get beyond the right wing back. He will be able to push up into midfield. He can underlap as well as overlap. And I think that's really important when you're playing a back three. I think you've got to have someone. It's all very well having someone dribbling out from the back in possession, but I think you need someone making runs out of possession as well. Obviously, when I say that, I mean West Ham have got the ball. So let's just say Bowen had the ball here, and we've got a back three. I don't want to see that. I want to see Wan-Bissaka pushing forward, and then the centre backs become what they would look like in a back four, so that we've got that extra man in the build up. Because we struggle under Potter. I think we struggle for creativity at times, and we need to cut that out. And I'll tell you what won't help is if when you're attacking, you've actually got three players in centre back positions. You're missing a player essentially. So I would like to see Wan-Bissaka in the back three, making these runs forward, getting up, supporting the attack, because ultimately our right side is stronger. With Bowen further up the pitch, Wan-Bissaka there, obviously players in between as well. And I'll get on to something else. But that's how I would line up at the back tonight. In midfield, I think it's important we give Potts another go. He played the half against Everton. He looked good. We missed him when he went off. However, I think it was a sensible thing to do to take him off. He was up for it. He was the one player out, everyone on the pitch, that looked like he was taking that game 100% seriously. And I think Potts had to. I think Callum Marshall had to. On the flip side of it, I don't think when he was on the pitch, Bowen had to take it 100% seriously. Wan-Bissaka doesn't need to. They've got nothing to prove. They're not trying to earn a shirt for Sunderland. They are starting against Sunderland no matter what. Potts is not. He has to impress. So I'd get him back in there. So there you go. You've got at least 45 minutes. At the minute, the shirt's up for grabs. We don't know who's playing that position against Sunderland. Might be Potts, might be Alvarez, might be Rodriguez. Just wait. Just bear with me. The shirt is up for grabs. Say to Potts, here you go. 45 minutes. Put in a good game. You start next week against Lille. Put in a good game. You start against Sunderland. That shirt's up for grabs. And at the minute, I think Potts should have the opportunity to win it more than the others. Potts has to start, and I think he has to start next to Paqueta. In the first half, Paqueta started further up the pitch. He was all right. He was linking up well with Marshall. He was trying his best, got his goal. But actually, I thought he played better in the second half when he was a little bit deeper in midfield. And I think that's where I want to see Paqueta start tonight, alongside Freddie, Potts. We know they can link up well. They know both of them will move the ball quickly. Get him in there and just, that issue that I feel like we've had under Potter where we just lack a little bit of creativity. Well, putting Paqueta in midfield won't only help. I'd rather he picks up the ball. At the minute, he's picking up the ball. We've seen this against Everton. When he picked up the ball, only Callum Marshall was ahead of him. In the second half, he was picking up. And he had Jared Bowen, he had Nicholas Fulkirk, he had more options. He had, Guilherme coming down the left as well. Much more options for Paqueta. That's what you want. You want him there looking up. There's 4 or 5 options for him, and he will try it. If you're any of these players, you know that when this guy gets the ball, move. Bowen will have a flashback to Pran. Get on the run. This guy will find you. But here's, I guess, almost like the sad thing. No one else can. We don't have another player that I feel that if Bowen made a run between defenders in behind, I don't feel I've got any other player in the squad that'll go, dink, there you go. We've seen hints from Freddie, Potts. That's about it. Other players just hesitate. Take that extra touch, that extra second. By the time they've gone, I'll pass it, he's offside. The moment's gone. You don't have time. When players make a run, you have to go like that. And only Lucas Paqueta, in my opinion, does that. But that's why I think we're screaming out for a midfielder with that attacking element to his game. I'm going to move over to right wing back now. Kyle Walker-Peters. He looked all right against Everton. When involved, I just don't think he was involved enough. I think we need to start including the wing backs a little bit more. We are going to see him play that position possibly when the African Cup of Nations come round. He can also play down the left-hand side if we need him to. It might be against Sunderland. We might decide that there are our wing backs. But I think it's important Walker-Peters gets another good, at minimum, 45 minutes under his belt. And I would be intrigued to see this partnership between Walker-Peters and Wan-Bissaka, because if they can establish one really quickly, that right-hand side for attacks becomes very, very interesting because they're both good at travelling with the ball. And again, I don't think we've got loads of them in the squad either that's comfortable picking up and dribbling 10, 15 yards with it, possibly taking on 1 or 2 players in the meantime. Walker-Peters and Wan-Bissaka can do that. So if you can get them going down the right-hand side, you can get Walker-Peters on the ball, Wan-Bissaka overlapping, you're going to create a lot of success down there. You're going to create a lot of opportunities for those two to get forward and get the crosses in. So I'd play Walker-Peters right wing-back. Moving over to left wing-back, it will be Diouf. And I think it probably should be all things considered. I think he's struggling a little bit, which is okay. It's not an issue. It's not a concern of mine. His crosses are hit and miss. When they hit the first man. Okay, let me have a joke, please. Come on. It was just a joke. Not a dig, just a joke. The more I see of him, though, the more I am unconvinced he's ready. I think this kid could maybe do with a little bit of bedding in. So how do you do that? Do you put him in sink or swim and take him off if you need to? And just keep on doing it until eventually he's okay? Or are you looking at playing someone else against Sunderland and letting him just get up to speed by coming off the bench? Potter's got a big decision to make there. I think I'm okay with either. If he decides to almost play Diouf through it and hopefully that he just gets to grips with the Premier League quickly, I'm okay with that. If he decides he wants to play someone else there and introduce him off the bench, I'm okay with that as well. But for tonight's game, because it's just a friendly, I put Guilherme there. Now, it's not his position. It's not his position at all. And I think he might struggle. Depending on who Bournemouth have at right back, I think he would struggle a little bit. But he's got a guard behind him, a very experienced centre-back. He's got Paqueta next to him, his Brazilian countryman. You see them in videos, they're friends. Missing Emerson, the third musketeer is gone. But he's got that partnership already with Paqueta. He looked all right against Everton. I liked what I seen. Defensively, he was getting back. He's not a defender, but he was working hard. He was getting back. He was tracking back. And he was getting on the ball. He was just running at players. He was trying passes. I want to see more. Give him the start. He has to start tonight. I think it's important. You reward him. Potts came on against Man U, looked good, got his reward, started against Everton. It's only friendly, but he got a reward. I think Guilherme needs one now. Start him. And now we put him in the wing-back role. Because the rest of the defenders, Wan-Bissaka, Panas Agard, even Walker Peters, they are all very, very experienced. So if he does get caught forward, we should be all right. But we should also just add that little bit of spice going forward. Diouf, I think, has struggled to take his man on. Guilherme hasn't. He's been taking his man on. I want to see more. Get him on the pitch. Further up the pitch, I think it's important that we go Bowen and Fulkrug. I don't like Bowen as striker, but Potter clearly does. And this will be the front two against Sunderland. I think we can agree that. So let's keep playing them. And to be fair, Potter is. I think it was telling against Everton, he went Marshall and Paqueta so that when he did the subs, he had Bowen and Fulkrug. Potter is investing a lot of minutes on the pitch into those two as a partnership. And I think that's the best thing to do. If that's going to be a partnership against Sunderland, get them on the pitch together as much as possible. I'm not going to say anything more. That leaves one position, the midfielder. What do you do here? I think you've got a few options. I think you've got Lewis Orford. Hasn't had a start yet. Looked all right. Actually, no. Looked good. You put him in there? I think you could, but is he going to start against Sunderland? Not really. So you would only be doing it for the sake of getting the minutes. And we're now getting towards, well, there's less than 2 weeks to go till we play Sunderland. We're getting towards a serious part of pre-season. Against Lille, I wouldn't want to see Orford play because it'd sort of start your first 11 for an hour and then make changes. So I wouldn't be against it. You put in Thomas Souček. Didn't start in the last game. There's a good chance he'll start against Sunderland. Needs minutes in his legs. Possibly. I wouldn't start Ward-Prowse. He's had 2 starts in America. He doesn't need to start this one. Do you start Edson Alvarez? I think that would be the popular call. I think people watching this, that would be the one they'd like to see. Him or Feedon. Do you start Feedon? Maybe. Do you start Alvarez? I'm not convinced Alvarez in this role. Not convinced. But I think what it would do is that when we went forward at times, it would allow Bowen maybe just go to the right, Paqueta come to the left, and Potts to sit in with Alvarez. I think that's what that inclusion would allow. It would allow us to just change the midfield. Now, I would like to see us go to this midfield long-term under Potter, the box midfield, just to get that player a bit closer to Fulkrug and also get Bowen slightly to the right away from. Now, I thought against Everton, Bowen was peeling to the right a little bit and Fulkrug was staying a little bit more central, whereas against Man U, I thought it was clearly right and left forwards. I thought we changed it a little bit. I don't think Fulkrug was dragging to the left that much. He was certainly slightly to the left, but I thought he was a bit more central and Bowen was just peeling over here. So maybe you play Alvarez, you can just nudge Paqueta up over a little bit. So that's how it would look in terms of average positions. And I would prefer this. Or do you be bold? Do you drop Paqueta with Potts, push Guilherme up, and leave Diouf where he is? I wouldn't be against that. The midfield would be a bit scary, in terms of being attacked upon, counter-attacking and whatever would get ripped apart. It would certainly be fun. There should be goals there, for and against. I don't really know. And this is the thing. I do know what I want to see in terms of the rest of them. But that last one, I don't know. But this is the problem. Now, obviously, there's you could say Kyler Marshall, but again, you could maybe go Bowen and Marshall up front. But I think it's important to get this partnership up and running. So again, I've got this missing spot. Pure coincidence. It's number 6. I've basically got 15 other figures named. That's why it's 16. I'm not playing Mark Noble, I promise you. But in fact, let me change it just to please the. I don't know. I'm not bothered. Orford, Fearon, Souček, Alvarez. I'm fine. Irvin, probably. I wouldn't play Irvin because I think he's going. And I wouldn't play James Ward-Prowse because he's already started 2 games. We don't need him to start a third one. He's had his minutes. He can come off the bench. But I think this is the issue. I had this on Wednesday. There's not really a midfielder I have a desire to see. I want to see Potts and Paqueta. Yes, 100%. But as for the third guy, I'm not arsed. And that's the problem. I should be. I should want to see someone. Like Guilherme, I want to see him. Just not that bothered. I'd like to see more of Orford, but then I'm a bit. He's probably going to go out on loan. Maybe I'd play for Orford or Fearon for the fun element. Souček for the minutes element. Because I think right now, we played Sunderland today. I think Souček, I think Souček starts. I think that's what we do in midfield. I think this is. I don't have my Todibo one, but Todibo would be there and Kilman would be here. I think that's what we would do if we played Sunderland right now. And obviously do for left wing back. Anyway, there you go. That's what I would like to see tonight. I appreciate it's only a friendly, it's only pre-season, but I'm looking forward to it. We can learn things. We've learned a lot so far. Not so much from Grasshoppers, but from the 2 games in America. I feel like Potter's learned a few things about the players as well as the squad. And tonight will be an education. Bournemouth will be a good teacher for us tonight. Different style of play. They don't have loads of players out there with them. They've got more than Everton. They will do changes. Tyler Adams didn't start against Man U, so he'll start tonight in midfield. But Cook's injured. Christie's injured. So Alex Scott, I don't recall. Was he there? He must have been. Alex Scott must have been there. So maybe we'll see Scott and Adams playing in midfield. Semenyo played, but he didn't start against Everton, so we might see him. David Brooks came off the bench on Thursday morning, so I'd imagine he'll start tonight. It will be a very senior team we play tonight, I think. I think it'll be a very senior team. It'll be a really good test. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully you've already dropped a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We will be live at 6:15 this evening. So if you're kicking around, do come back. And reminder, today is the last day of the raffle match-worn Mark Noble shirt. Links in the description below. And hopefully I'll see you at 6:15.